Hello and welcome everyone to this problem session number 1 part 2. So in our last problem session we have started understanding how we can understand spherical coordinate system, how we can convert coordinates of a point in rectangular coordinate system to equivalent spherical coordinate systems. Okay, in this particular lecture we are going through only just this single question. This question is not this is a theoretical question to prove that spherical coordinate system is an orthogonal coordinate system. We know very well that orthogonal coordinate system is one in which all the three coordinates axes are perpendicular to each other, number one, or you may say the unit axis, unit vectors along all the coordinate axes are perpendicular to each other. One of the example for orthogonal coordinate system is rectangular coordinate system in which we have x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and all three are having equal, or three are having unit vectors ax cap, ay cap and z cap, and they all are mutually perpendicular to each other, and that's why it's a rectangle, it's a orthogonal coordinate system. Similarly, in this particular case, we have to prove that spherical coordinate system is also an orthogonal coordinate system. Now, we know that in spherical coordinate system, any point is represented by three coordinates r, theta and phi. And coordinate unit vectors along a coordinate axis, it means that unit vectors along the direction of increment of these coordinates. So for example, if you suppose the point P is having coordinate r, theta and phi, then r will be the distance joining the line OP, keeping theta and phi constant. If you want to increase this r, keeping theta and phi constant, in that case r will increase along the direction OP itself. So unit vector along the direction OP will be considered as the radial unit vector or AR cap. Similarly, if you keep r constant, if you keep phi constant, and you start increasing theta, you will find that theta will increase along the periphery of a circle of radius r. Okay, in the some phi equals to constant plane, phi plane. So in that case, the direction of increment of theta will be along the tangent to that particular point. So that will be the direction of a theta cap. And similarly, we can interpret the value of a phi also. The important thing is that the direction of AR, A theta and A phi all are dependent, or I should say they are defined for a particular point. And for two different points, it is possible that they have all three or some of the unit vectors different. Okay, this is very significant difference between spherical coordinate system and rectangular coordinate system. In rectangular coordinate system, the unit vectors ax, ay, and az are universally defined and universally unique. For every point, ax, ay, az are same. But in spherical coordinate system, two different points may have all or some of the unit vectors different. Okay, and if you have any confusion, you should draw 2 points in 2 different positions, and you should draw the unit vectors, and you will find that AR, A theta and A phi for both the points are, or some of the, at least some of the unit vector will differ. Okay, so here we have to prove that these spherical coordinate system is orthogonal. That means the AR, A theta and A phi cap unit vectors for a given particular point will be perpendicular to each other. In other words, if we can prove that AR cap dot A theta cap and A theta cap dot A phi cap and A phi cap dot AR cap is equals to 0 for a given point, then the spherical coordinate system will be orthogonal. Okay, because we know that dot product of two unit vectors will be 0 only if they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so in order to understand this, in order to understand this, first of all, we will go through the interpretation of AR, A theta and A phi. Where are these AR, A theta and A phi present? Okay. So as I told you just right now in this lecture, that you can see here, These are AX, AY and AZ direction, unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. And point P is somewhere here or point P is somewhere in this direction. So the line joining O to P will be the direction of AR cap. If point P is supposed to be having coordinate r, theta and phi, and if you keep theta and phi constant, then the increment in r will be along this direction. That's why this direction is supposed to be AR cap. Okay. Now we will not dive directly about a theta and a phi. We will just look at these features or what we can further tell about this AR cap. So we know very well that this AR cap, angle between AR cap, since AR cap is the direction in which there is the line segment OP, and we know that angle second coordinate theta is angle between OP and AZ cap or Z direction. So AR cap is making an angle theta with Z axis, and correspondingly this AR cap can be resolved into two components in two mutually perpendicular directions. So AR cap will have a component OA dash. You can resolve it in direction of AZ cap as OA dash, and this component OA dash will be equal to magnitude of this unit vector into cos theta. You know very well the component along the direction where the angle is making or angle is theta, the component is cos theta, and in the other direction here this will be the other direction. So in this particular direction in which the component is OA2, this OA2 will be mod of AR cap into sin theta. You know very well that any vector can be resolved into two or three components. So in this particular case we are resolving it in just a plane, and correspondingly we are having two components, mod of AR cap cos theta and mod of AR cap sin theta. Since AR cap is a unit vector, mod of AR cap will be equals to 1, and we can just write cos theta and sin theta. But to make ourselves comfortable, we use this notation here. Okay. Now, if we see in figure number A, this figure number A is more elaborative. Here we are having point P with coordinate r, theta, phi, and as I told you that if you want to keep theta and phi constant, if you want to keep theta fixed, if you want phi fixed, and you want to increase r, the increment in r will be along this particular direction, OP, and that's why this direction is direction of increment in r, or unit vector in this direction will be AR. Okay, if you want to keep r constant, you fix this r. If you want to keep phi constant, means you are in this particular plane, and you want to increase theta. How do you increase theta? You draw a circle with center O, radius r in this particular plane. As you can see here, this is the circle. This is the circle going on. Okay, and at any point, the increment in the value of theta will be along the direction of tangent. Okay, so a theta cap will be in this tangential direction. And obviously, we will prove this thing mathematically, but logically, we are very sure that the radius OP and this tangent, this A theta cap, radius and tangent are always perpendicular to each other. So obviously, AR cap and A theta cap are perpendicular to each other. Okay, we'll prove this thing later on. So in this manner, we can go on. Now for finding the increment in phi, I think not in figure. In next sum of figure, we will find the direction of a phi cap also. Okay. So now here we are having this component OA2. As you can see here, first of all, we have this unit vector AR cap. We find its component along z-axis and its component in xy plane, that is OA2. Now this OA2, as we know very well, this OA2 makes an angle phi with the x-axis. Okay, what is this OA2? This OA2 is direction in which we found that OP dash here. If you are having this line segment OP and its projection on xy plane as OP dash, if AR cap is along OP, then its projection in xy plane will be along this OP direction, OP dash direction. So OA2 will be along OP dash, and that's why the angle between OA2 and x-axis will be same as angle between OP dash and x-axis. So this angle is phi. Now what we do, we resolve this OA2 into two component again. One is along x-axis and one is along y-axis. Since the angle here is phi, the component along x-axis will be equal to OA2 cos phi, and component of A2 along y-axis will be OA2 sin phi. I hope there is no problem in that. First of all, we had resolve AR cap into a component in z-axis and another component in xy plane. And then we resolve this component along xy plane into two values. One is along x-axis and one is along y-axis. In this manner, we have resolved AR cap we have finded out the component of AR cap along x, y and z axis. And once we have component of a vector along x, y, z axis, we can represent this vector AR cap as component in z direction into az cap plus component in x direction into ax cap plus component in y direction into ay. By substituting usual things, AR cap cos theta az remains the same. OA2 cos theta, OA2 is, as we had already expressed here, OA2 is AR cap sin theta. So OA2 cos phi will be replaced by AR cap sin theta cos phi AX cap, and similarly the OA2 sin phi is written as mod of AR cap sin theta sin phi AY cap. And now, since mod of AR cap is magnitude of unit vector, and we know that modulus of unit vector is 1, and that's why AR cap can be written as sin theta cos phi AX cap plus sin theta sin phi AY cap plus cos theta AZ cap. In this manner, we can represent a spherical coordinate system, the first spherical coordinate system in rectangular coordinate system. Just a minute. Okay, so in this manner, we can find the radial unit vector in terms of rectangular unit vectors ax, ay, az cap for any point. Okay, why we are doing this? Our objective is to prove that the dot product of AR cap dot and A theta cap or A theta and A phi or A phi and AR is 0. And to prove this, what our strategy is to represent these unit vectors in terms of their rectangular counterparts. Okay, we want to represent AR cap in terms of AX, AY, AZ, A theta in terms of same and A phi in terms of same. And then we perform their dot product. And we are very comfortable with this mechanism that ax dot ay, ay dot az, az dot ax all are 0, and ax dot ax is 1, ay dot ay is 1, and az dot az. So in this manner, we can find it very easily. Okay. Now, as you can see here, so